All right. Hi, everybody. I'm going to be comparing and contrasting some of the media that we were given this week. I'm going to be starting with the article As Badly Off as the Filipinos, and then I'll be comparing that with the Iron Jawed Angels movie, and then I'm going to go into the PowerPoint a little bit. So to start off with the article, I found that the article and the movie are in a lot of ways the same. They're both very much about women's suffrage, and they're both mainly white women's suffragists. But in the article, um, this group or this woman actually went to the Philippines, to another country, to help start the women's suffrage in a different country, which I find that I find that very empowering, very interesting, because it shows that there was women's suffragists that weren't just worried about white women's rights. They weren't just worried about, like, the white woman who had more privilege than colored women but less than the white man. So it was just nice to see that they weren't just worried about just white women, but just women as a whole. Whereas in the movie Iron Jawed Angels, it's mostly white women that are on this commission with them, as well as in one of the scenes there was a parade, and they were trying to get like all the women's suffragists in the parade to walk with them. And Susan B. Anthony walks through the door, and she says that she won't be walking in the parade because she's not okay with the fact that the black women and her group are in the back of the parade because they're black. And the what's her name? The woman that's leading the commission, I cannot remember her name at this moment, but she says, well, we're just trying to focus on the one thing right now, and everybody else is going to drop out if you guys don't go in the back. So then Susie Banti says, well, okay, but I'm not going to be in the parade. Now later on in the movie, she does actually step in and walk with them, but it's just nice to see that in the article, they're worried about more than just the white woman's privilege. And then in the movie, it was nice to also see that the leader of their women's suffrage group she respected that Susan B. Anthony wouldn't walk because of the racial implication that they were in the back, which it was nice to see that she respected that. I also enjoyed in the movie, there were a lot of quotes that struck me, and that I tried to remember, but I couldn't, but I have them right here. So the best one that I saw was, to pay the fine would be admitted guilt. We haven't broken a law, not $1. So basically what this woman is saying is that they were all, at one point, when they were in front of the White House, they were arrested for obstruction of traffic because Wilson wanted them out of there because he didn't want them petitioning anymore. And nobody else did, but they didn't really have a right reason to arrest them. So they arrested them for obstruction of traffic, which they didn't do at all. So none of them are going to pay any money at all because they have nothing to pay for. I also like the one where she and I believe he was a psychologist, were talking about how she got put in prison, and he was trying to get her to say that her efforts were aimed, like targeted at Wilson, which they weren't at all. And she tried to explain that, but he didn't get it. And there's another instance in the movie where about the same thing happens when I think he's a senator, his wife starts donating money to the women's suffragists, and he thinks that it's just all like just shot straight at him because, like, oh, you're the senator's wife and you're basically voting against him, which is not at all what she was doing. She was just donating money to a cause that she felt was right. And I like that they did two different examples of people trying to twist something in a way that it was not at all, which is, I think, a lot of what they were trying to do with the women's suffrage movement, as well as when the war was going on. They were also trying to say, like, oh, well, you guys are so worried about your own cause and being selfish, but there's a whole war going on. And it's like, well, yeah, but like the sign said, like, you're willing to fight for democracy in a whole different country, but you won't figure it out here in America, which I enjoyed that a lot. And then in the PowerPoint, I really enjoy caricatures, and I enjoy how authors back in the 20th century, how they always use caricatures and they use their art to portray their point of view, which is what art, that's all art is. But I enjoyed it a lot in politics because a lot of them are funny and they make sense. One of the ones that I really like is the one where the woman in the red dress with the black hat and the flowers is kissing the blonde guy with the bowler hat that's falling off. And it says suffragette right, or suffragette vote getting the easiest way. So basically what they're saying is that the easiest way for these women to get their rights would just be to seduce these men, is what I'm gathering from this, to just seduce these men and get what they want by, seduction and manipulation, I guess. And then the last one that I wanted to talk about was the one that says a woman's mind magnified. And it's just basically like what these men in the 20th century envisioned women seeing. So it's this picture of a woman who looks like her face is done up a little bit, and it's her head like this, and she's got the marriage and the baby and the puppy and the chocolates and the pretty dress and the hat. And it's just like the men just basically saying that women don't think about important things, therefore they should not get the vote, which is not the case at all, because in another one, sorry, that wasn't the last one, this will be the last one, where it says women bring all voters into the world, let women vote. These women are having, say the boys in the 20th century, say they're having the boys, they're raising these boys to be men who are going to vote one day. These women are instilling these men's like behaviors, like their thought process and everything comes from their mother. So if you trust them to raise the men to do the voting, why would you not trust them to do the voting themselves? That's what I gathered from this, and that's all. Thank you.